Welcome back to the channel, and today on Master the Blue Chai we are looking at the Prince Harry visa scandal and the release of his visa application files, what it says, what are the next steps, where it leaves Harry, and what is next for the Heritage Foundation and those seeking equality. Let's recap the whole drama. Prince Henry was a habitual drug user and attended drug rehab, spending multiple stints in rehab in his teens, even being dropped off at rehab by his older brother. He has multiple failed relationships with women, with a couple including Caroline going on about his paranoia and mood swings common with drug use. There have been many drug-fueled and booze-fueled hijinks, involving lots of dubois behavior which by today's standards would result in cancellation for Me Too scandals. Remember Las Vegas and the New York parties? Naked pool anymore, who wants to F a prince as he strolls in naked was his party trick. Then the allegations of prostitutes and drug-taking in Afghanistan, and when this broke he was mysteriously recalled early, ostensibly for his squad's safety. Then he found love with at the time minor American actress who was playing the love interest of one of the co-leads on a cable show. She was about to be cut before the relationship, not because she was especially terrible, just her character was not a major character, was poorly developed and had nowhere to go. There wasn't a will they, won't they, and there were bigger female roles in the show. The relationship was good for the show and her, which boosted her profile, and they increased her role. She signed up with a top PR firm #Sunshine Sacks, and their fairy tale took off and they got married to much fanfare and decided that royal life wasn't for them, or so the story goes. For the purposes of today we won't go into this, but watch other videos for more in-depth analysis on this period of their journey and interpretations of their truth. So they left for Canada and sponged off the Canadian taxpayers, who eventually cut them off and caused a bit of a diplomatic kerfuffle, so they went to America with a little boy in tow. It is this part of the journey which is at the heart of the matter and leads to today. As Harry had left the royal family as a working royal, he was stripped of his diplomatic status, which was announced by Priti Patel, the then UK's Home Secretary. This was due to Canada already declaring that Harry wasn't a working prince, they didn't have to support him. When you total up all the national, state, city expenses, it was coming out to over $30 million Canadian. Quite a hefty sum. Now this is where it gets really interesting and dark. They flew to California on Tyler Perry's private plane, a person they didn't know, hadn't met, and was in business with Oprah Winfrey, who is of course known to you all. Now Oprah had signed the couple to do an exclusive interview with the couple, so she organized for Tyler to provide the jet and also his mansion to the couple. This is what is called payment in kind, and under Californian and US law taxable. Remember, Oprah made over $40 million from the interview. Oprah also introduced the couple to Gavin Newsom and his office, who it is alleged helped with the visa application. More on that later. The couple moved into Tyler's mansion, and then Harry consumed drugs on the estate, which is a clear breach of his visa, had some falling out with Tyler's staff and a couple of lawsuits and some issues where the female and police protection were pulled by the UK Home Secretary overnight. The couple were evicted or left and went to live on a cottage on Oprah's estate. Then the interview, and they moved into a mansion they brought in Montecito with help from the royal family. Then in 2022 Harry was commissioned for a book, and he detailed to the ghostwriter what he thought was a heartwarming tale about a lot of his drug use, including psychedelics that are all the rage in California and alternative culture in the US. Yet again proving that Harry is not the brightest, quite dim as it highlights. He either received special favors or lied on his visa application, not aware that his drug taking was a breach of his visa. So with bated breath, lots of right-wing media waited for the publication of the book Spare, and yes, the drug taking was in it. So the right-wing Heritage Foundation went after Harry, who had criticized Trump, but also because people at the time felt that Gavin Newsom was involved, and of course he was likely to be the Democratic candidate against Trump if Biden pulled out of the upcoming presidential election. Multiple hearings and multiple lawsuits. Tyler Perry's staff filed lawsuits with the allegations of abuse by Meghan and Harry, with a popular retelling of being pushed in the pool. These two lawsuits were settled for seven-figure sums. Then there were multiple lawsuits from the Heritage Foundation to get Harry's visa application made public. The real reason being to uncover Democrats' corruption and help for a privileged individual would be a real political coup. Additionally, it highlights corruption in the system being run by Democrats with the narrative "everything for sale." Then Trump won, and it looked like Harry would get away with it, but the Heritage Foundation didn't stop, as political capital is still political capital. So they eventually got the judge to agree. Well, sort of. It is of course so redacted with entire sections we can't see anything of note. So Gavin, Harry all breathed a sigh of relief. The judge described the need for redaction as saying that anyone who knows these types of legal proceedings would be able to use the information. So what kind of information? The drug taking. Stripping kids away from him, preventing him from working with children, using this as a case reference in other legal proceedings. Sadly, we are again seeing that US justice system is not blind and highly political, highly privileged. Except for one thing, in defending it, Harry claims that his book is mostly fiction, artistic license. So that means we are free to use this in fighting the injunctions he has had served. We can use this with YouTube and launch lawsuits against them for shutting down channels. Although, dare we say it, a poorer person would not have gotten this kindness from the courts. What do you think? Comment below, like, subscribe to get more chai, including the lawsuits being filed against Harry and Meghan.